So Dad came to a place in the business where he was trying to decide what his future looked like. And so he began to explore the idea that he would, his kids would inherit the business.
My earliest memory of working in the seed business was coming in and sweeping the floor.
I wanted a pedal bike, so when all my buddies were off messing around all summer, I was sweeping the yard, the buildings, cleaning up garbage. I was the bottom of the totem pole, and if I remember right, my pay was 50 cents an hour.
When I was in middle school, my sister and I would come down and we would clean the offices, and we did that for years, and that's how we earned money.
There was always something to do. One day you might be sweeping the yard, the next day you was on the construction crew, the next day you was mixing seed, the next day you could just be doing a number of things. It was fun. It was a good childhood.
When I was a freshman in high school, my brothers, Zeke and Jason, owned a vending business.
I think it was 1989, a gentleman approached me and my brother and said, "Hey, I want to sell my vending business." And so me and Jason, with the help of Dad, went to the bank and we borrowed the money and we started E&J Vending.
As Jason finished high school and went on to college, the vending machine business became something that me and Zeke did on a daily basis.
We would go before school and service candy machines. At times at the high school during lunch we would have to refill it, and then after school we had a route that we would make every day, and we would go fill and service candy machines all over the county, and we did that 5 days a week, and it was a good business. It was fun. It was, you were interacting with people. I think it's where I learned to interact with people more, because you had to go sell yourself to get your candy machines in their businesses.
My memories of having the vending business, every day we would come home and we would count our money and make a deposit slip, and we would go to the bank and get to deposit all of the money that we had taken out of the machine that day. And then once or twice a month we would pay all of our vendors. And then if we had any money left over, that was profit. And that was the cat's meow.
We entered a young entrepreneur contest that was put on by the governor's office, and there was about 15 of us that made it to the final cut, and we went down to Cedar City and did a big presentation in front of hundreds of people, and I was petrified. Man, I was scared to death standing up there giving that presentation. And it was a lot of fun. It was a business I actually wish we still had today. It was easy. I mean, you just drive around and put candy in a machine and take money out. It was like slick.
In 2001, when I began working here, Jason had been here for a few years. And then in 2006, Zeke came on board and started working with us.
It worked out well because each of us brought a different skill set and attributes to the table. They were skills that filled a need in the business.
At Great Basin Seed, I am accounts payable, accounts receivable, human resources. I do some of our shipping, LTL, and small packages. I'm a little bit of everything. I graduated from Snow College in 1997 with a degree in business management. I began working at Great Basin Seed in fall of 2001. My father Lloyd was still here working full-time. There were 8 employees. Everything was on a much smaller scale. I started dabbling in the office with our prior office person, and I would do all of his filing. And then as he started to phase out, I just took up more responsibility. And so money's just always been easy for me to balance a checkbook and make sure you weren't spending more than what you had.
One day my dad came over and said, "I think it's time you come home and you come back to the seed business." And me and my wife visited about that, and we decided it was a good move for us as a family. As I thought about my future and my wife, and we talked about things, I could see a forever home at Great Basin Seed. I think we kind of, our business model or our business structure kind of just fell into place by our natural backgrounds, because I had come from a construction and a mechanics background. It made the most amount of sense that I was maintenance, I was over construction projects, trailers broke down, I took care of it, and just the day-to-day maintenance of plants, greasing bearings, changing bearings, whatever it took. Heidi's always been the girl behind the books, and Jason's been the guy behind the computers and really the brains behind Great Basin. When he told me he wanted to start a website, I told him it would never work, that it would fail, and that the internet was a fad and it was just going to come and go. And every day I eat crow and every day I giggle because I just can't believe that it's done what it's done and how the internet has helped our business.
When Zeke arrived in 2006, it was at the beginning of a very noteworthy time in the history of the seed industry. Starting in about 2004, the Western United States moved into a long period of severe drought. That was accompanied by some of the largest wildfires in U.S. history. The Western United States was on fire all summer long, every summer. No one had seen anything like it in modern history. There just wasn't enough people and resources to deal with the magnitude of the problem. Suddenly there was a dramatic spike in the need for native seed to revegetate these disturbed areas where these wildfires had gone through. And so we suddenly saw demand for seed that we'd never seen before. I vividly remember what that looked like at kind of a boots on the ground level when we suddenly had more seed collection crews and more people in more different places spread across the Western United States than we'd ever had in the past. It was a human resource nightmare trying to manage all those people and permits and collection areas and the sheer number of species that were needed. So I have some very fond memories of that time. Some things that I've not seen before nor since, and that was we were buying sagebrush in such volumes that the seed collectors would line their trucks up in single file, and the line of trucks full of sagebrush would stretch for 2 or 3 blocks down the road. We were weighing the seed and offloading it as fast as we could, and we were buying sagebrush by the hundreds of thousands of pounds, as were our competitors. It was kind of like the second golden age of our business. Those years put a lot of strain on our human resources, on our equipment, and really challenged what we thought, what is possible, what really are our capabilities here. And we found out in those years in a real fast hurry. There was just this huge need, and none of us were really prepared to deal with it, but we, as an industry, I feel like we did a really great job of addressing that need.